Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of CB Rebuilds. We've got a 2012 Jeep Wrangler in the shop today. This one's going to be for my dad. He said he wanted a Jeep Wrangler after I rebuilt mine, so we're going to see if we can't get this one back together. It does have a clean title, even though it is wrecked. So we should be able to register it, and as long as we do the repairs correct, it'll be a good vehicle. You can tell we've got a little bit of frame damage here. Got the horns with a bumper bolt on. Those are made to collapse in an accident. We've also got the apron was bent up really bad, jammed the door. And then we've got lots of wiring issues. So right here we've got no plug. This main harness down here has got some wires pulled out of it. This one's severed. So we're going to have to try to get this put back together, because right now the Jeep doesn't start. And it would be nice for it to start and drive around. But I'll grab the camera and give you guys a walk around of the Jeep, and we'll see what's going on. Right, so the driver's side here looks pretty good. There is a bit of a crease right here. You can see it kind of on camera if I highlight it. So we'll probably have to replace the fenders. Also a dent right there. This is a 6-speed Jeep. So we've got, you know, the 6-speed manual. We've also got, I guess a PSA here is that you can see the seat belts. Both of them are locked up like nobody was wearing them, and whoever was driving this Jeep ended up with their head through here, and they hit this pretty hard. You can see they even broke the mirror out on the visor. So my PSA is make sure you wear your seatbelt. I'm not sure why the airbag didn't go off, but the driver's bag didn't go off. Maybe it's because the seatbelt wasn't in. I don't know. The rest of the Jeep back here looks pretty good. It does have a frameless soft top, and it's all here. Just got opened up, make sure everything was taken care of on the inside. Just fender liners coming out, we can fix that easy enough. Here's the passenger side. Again, the seatbelt banjo string tight, so you know. We also have the airbag over here. So that worked. The passenger probably was saved there with the airbag. I hope the driver was okay too, but the hinges got kind of bent a little bit. We'll see if we can't straighten them up. That's why the door got taken off, is because we had to get access into here. So we have most of the components. A lot of this is in pretty good shape. I mean, the engine rolls over fine. We just can't get it to start. So I think we need to work on this wiring harness, because I believe we get a fuel pump signal right from this. And since we're missing some of that, or we get power from here, we gotta get something from here to get the fuel pump to turn on and start the engine. But all the sensors and everything up here are all connected. So we even got the map. We've got the intake temperature tube sensor, that's all there. And seems like most of the wiring is good up here. I did notice there's a couple here that they're not broken through with insulation. It's a little rough, but the engine does roll over, and it's got compression, so I think it'll start as soon as we figure out how to get fuel to it. The cooling system is damaged. The radiator is gone. I mean, it should be right here. So we got a little bit of work here, but I think I'm going to show you guys my solution to a lot of this, and that's going to be a front clip. So take you on a little walk here, and we'll look at the front clip we got as a replacement. All right, so here's a solution I have for most of the parts for the 2012 Jeep Wrangler. I went on a website and was able to find a place that would give me the front half of a Jeep. So what they did is they came right here behind the fenders and they cut it all the way through. Now this is just the body. They did take some of the things like the steering wheel and the gauges and the radio, but you can see we've got a replacement dash cover here. There's also an airbag in there that we need. They gave me the airbag separately, so we have a driver's airbag as well for the steering wheel. And you know, they did just cut it right off. So this fender has a little bit of a dent right there. I know it's in the shadow, but there's a little dent in that fender. But for the most part, we got everything we need right here to put this back together. So pop the hood open. They even gave us. It's kind of hard to balance the hood open because there's no windshield to lean it against, but we'll set our back. So in here we've got our cooling system, and then we've got a lot of these wiring harnesses that are ruined on our Jeep. Right here we've even got this one. I'm not sure what this plugs into. It'd be nice to know, but I'll have to go look up some diagrams. But you can see here we've got lots of the wiring, even some of the reservoirs, and obviously the apron here. So we're going to try to get this apron unbolted and unwelded, and we're going to take it out. We need this front area with the radiators. So we got radiators, we got the wiring harness. We've got a lot of the pieces, even the grill and the headlights are all here. So this might be a more economical way to get the pieces. Before, the first Jeep I did it with websites like Quadratech and Morris Off-Road, and I still was able to do it inexpensively, but I think I could have saved some money if I had went this route. They even gave us a new bumper down here and the overflow bottle for the coolant. We got the bumper covers, and on this for the passenger side we even got the battery tray and the tray where you hook up your fuse box, the wheel liner, and the bottom splash tray for the Jeep. So we've got a lot of nice components here. We should be able to reuse, and it'll make the rebuild that much easier. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some of the damaged parts off of our Jeep, and then I'm going to come out here, grab some parts off of this one, and see if we can't get them grafted together and get this thing started. So let's go see what we can do. Well folks, I got some good news and some bad news from my parts Jeep. So this is the main wiring harness that runs around the cowl just like this one does. It's from the other Jeep. The other Jeep was an automatic. I'm thinking that has something to do with maybe why it's different. But these two plugs right here come down and they plug into the body side and go around. On my parts Jeep, this is white, and on the Jeep that we're working on, it's black. It's a different size and different style. So we're not going to be able to just plug that in and go. But we do need some of the stuff off of this. We do need this plug right here. This plug will match the front harness off of the other Jeep. So we'll end up taking this off, and it'll replace this mess of wires right here. So let's cut that off and then solder those back together. I might need to get a cross-reference guide to see which wires go where and what colors they need to be coming out, but that won't be too hard. I think I can do that, no problem. I pushed all these pins back in on this plug. I got them all in except for 3. They were broken off. So for the time being, I've taken a straight pin and pushed into the wire on the engine side of the harness, and then I use my alligator clips to clip onto the wires to go into the harness. So we should be able to feed power into those, or the signals into those, so that we should be able to start this if we can. Most of the stuff on the harness here are the impact sensors and the turn signals and the headlights and the cooling module, which we don't need the cooling module at this time. So I think what we're going to do is grab the new battery tray, throw it up in here just so that we've got someplace to put our battery, and then we'll try to get this thing a crank and see if we can get it to start. It'd be nice to have it starting just so we can drive it around the shop or around the barn, because I do have to put things in and out sometimes. So I'm going to grab the battery tray, we'll get that thrown on here, bolt it up, and then we should be able to maybe give it a try to start up. Alright folks, kind of bring you in here and show what I've got going on. So there's some wires here that pulled out the backside of the harness. We got this one right here and these two other ones. We got the yellow and the red. What I did is I took some of my wife's sewing pins and put them back into the copper so I could get the signal through the plug right now. So you can see I got the wire coming out, and then I got it coming over here, and I kind of probed right through the insulation to get a good connection. Here in the electrical box, took a few days, but we got some relays. Those are working correctly, but I didn't get any fuses yet, so maybe not the correct way to do things, but I am putting jumpers, so I just got a jumper wire on every fuse that is missing. So we've got at least a fuse or a connection through. I don't think that's going to be a big problem. These wires are pretty light, so maybe that is our problem. I don't know. But we'll try out to start the engine. And then I took the harness here from the front module here, which has got all the headlights and the crash sensors and everything. We still don't have it plugged in. That would go to right here. We need to change this plug out for the style that matches this. So I got to go get it from the other harness. But we've got it plugged into the box, and the connector for the controls is going to the box. So I think I'm going to try to start this. I did plug off the power steering reservoir and maybe the high pressure return line, whatever the return line, that's been plugged off. Don't want to make a huge mess, but we're going to see if we can't get this to start. I'd like to know if this vehicle runs. It was not listed as a run and drive. Obviously it was very damaged. So I'm going to have my lovely wife, she's going to crank the engine over, and either we're going to try to get it started, or we might try to use some starting fluid. Just want to make sure that the engine will run. If we have a fuel delivery problem, if we have a spark problem, I'd like to figure that out so we can start working on that. So I'm going to put you guys back up here on the stand, see where we're at. All right, go ahead and try to start it. Go ahead and try again. You get the clutch in and everything. Go ahead and cycle it like in and out maybe. All right, so let's see if it starts. I got starting fluid here. Let's see if we can get a little fire out of it. I don't know if you want to crank it. All right, I got some hissing here from the power steering pump return, but the engine did run. So we must have a fuel delivery issue. I'm also out of starting fluid. But at least we've got a running engine. That means we can continue working on this, fix the frame damage, and start working on the body. We just got to figure out the fuel delivery issue. So just stay tuned for the next episode here, and we'll see if we can't troubleshoot some more and figure out what's going on. Thanks for watching CB Rebuilds. Give it a like if you enjoy these videos, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.